Hello guys and welcome back into another video. Today we're gonna talk about SOTHEBY. This is gonna be a guide for SOTHEBY since she's gonna come and release, and her banner and A Night banner is gonna be there for you to pull on. Now, let's go check first of all what SOTHEBY does, what type of damage she is, what are the cards, her ult, what she does, what are some good teams you can run with her, when or where you can run her on, what are the best teams, what are the best Psychubes, all the good stuff, right? So let's get into it. Also, before I start, the game is out if you're watching this video basically, so good luck with your pulls and enjoy the game. Let's go. Now, Sotheby. Sotheby is a healer, is a plant healer, a Flatus plant. She does reality damage, and do not worry about the C here. I will explain why in a second. So let's go check the skills. Actually, before we do that, I would just want to point out that reality damage and mental damage are referring to the two types of damage that you can deal to the enemies, and the enemies themselves are going to have different resistances, A plus, B, C, A minus, B plus, B minus, on those types of attacks. So you want to, ideally, of course, you can't always do that, attack them on their weakest defense. So if they have a low defense of reality, you want to attack them with their reality damage team, and vice versa with mental. Now, let's get into the character. Her ult is called Mix Them All Up. It's a mass attack, deals 350% reality damage to all enemies, and all active poison and cure statuses on every character takes effect immediately. She doesn't apply it, she triggers it. Well, we'll see how to apply them in just a second, but you can also get a sneak peek over there. So cure is basically a dot. Actually, it's not a dot. It's a healing over time status on your teammates that will linger, stay there for an X amount of turns, and trigger at the start of the turn. So keep that in mind. Now, poison is gonna be applied, a dot, damage over time on the enemy, and is going to deal damage equal to 30% of the caster's attack, and can stack up to 3, I believe, but it might be even higher with different teams, but I think it's just 3 stacks. Now, it's worth pointing out that the damage for the poison, it's Genesis damage. Genesis damage is the way that the game treats true damage. Like in other games, like League of Legends, you will see true damage. Genesis damage is the way the game handles it on Reverse 1999, and basically goes beyond the resistances. So you're just gonna do true damage on the poison, right? So that's really good type of damage. Going on the triple the dose, it's a debuff. Mass attack deals 80% reality damage. Now, keep in mind that in this game you have different levels, because you have cards that you can fuse together. And if you fuse together 2 level 1 cards, you get a level 2. If you fuse 2 level 2 cards, you get a level 3. So if you manage to do that, and there's multiple mechanics in the game that let you do that, you will be able to get the bigger levels that you can read here. So if you want to get this one, you need to fuse 2 level 2 cards and stuff like that. It works with every character like this, so keep that in mind. It's a mechanic. On mass attack, it's a mass attack, which means that attacks every monster that you see in the field. Deals 200% reality damage to 2 enemies. Inflicts poison status for 5 rounds, 2 if you just do it, just the simple card. When a round ends, deals the caster attacks 30% of Sotheby's attack as Genesis damage. So that's really good. Keep that in mind. We'll go there, talk about it just a second. The other card, it's a healing card. She's a healer, so it's a healing card. The Concentrated Essence healing card is a mass healing, so she heals all of your party. Gives all allies 2 rounds of cure. When a round starts, HP plus the Sotheby's attack 50%. So 50% of her attack. Let's assume she has 1,000 attack. It wouldn't be 1,000 on early game, but let's assume she has 1,000 attack. She will heal when the cure triggers at the start of the round. She will heal for 500, right? So, and it's higher if you merge the card and make it stronger. Now, this is really important because the inheritance level, the insight level, matters and makes her way better than the base form. Why? First of all, on Insight 1, you get +1 round on the poison application duration. So instead of being 2 rounds, 2, 3, 5, it becomes 3, 4, 6, right? The Insight 2 is just more healing, which is decent since she needs more healing, right? So Insight 2 gives you 10% more, good. And the Insight 3 is when she becomes actually good, because the concentrated effect that inflicts cure status and the cure, it will trigger the cure when you do it before you apply the cure. So when you do this card, right, and you want to heal, if you have I3, which is the way we call it, Insight 3, instead of saying Insight, we say I, right? Instead of just healing, applying the heal, and then you need to wait for the heal to go off, it will also immediately trigger the heal that you have if you have it on you. So before the concentrated effects essence inflicts cure status, before you put the status on, the cure status on all allies take effect immediately. So if you have a healing dot on you already and you do the card again, you will trigger the healing. So that way you can avoid having to wait until the end of the turn to be healed, which is one of the biggest concerns that you might have on the character early game, which is basically I need to heal, but the heal that I just did doesn't apply on me until the end of the turn. So, which means after I have attacked and then after the enemy has attacked. So you need to, for SOTHEBY gameplay, you need to be a little more cautious on when you use your healing and when you use your ult, because the ult, I want to remind you, that triggers all active poison and cure on every character. So if you have the ult ready and you don't have to heal, but you know that you're going to have to heal later, then maybe you should keep it and wait. The ult doesn't get replaced when you use the tuning ability to refresh the card pool, and you can keep it there basically until you need it. Let's say it's gonna hold hostage one card slot, so you're gonna have less cards to play with, which is not ideal. But at the same time, if you want to use her correctly, you want to do that. So what you do is you want to apply the cure before you need to heal, because that way you look at the monster. The monsters tell you what they're going to do. So if the monster is going to do 2 attacks, let's say, you apply healing now, because when he's going to do 2 attacks, the next turn when you were supposed to be healing, you heal automatically because you did it the turn before. So you need to play with this in mind. Now let's quickly touch on what Psychube you need, right? For SOTHEBY, of course, there are the 6-star Psychubes available. It's her Psychube, which is the inquisitive deer, which basically makes it so when the carrier casts a basic incantation debuff, which is the poison, basic incantation poison. When you do this card, the poison card, you automatically heal the ally with the lowest HP percentage once per round, and it heals for 24% of your attack at level 1. At level 5, it becomes 50% of your attack, which is pretty good, because you can, in theory, you can even avoid leveling up this card together. Like you have 1 and 1, you keep them, you don't merge them, so you can do 2 heals instantly, right? So it's a little more mental battle than actual, like, oh, I just pick the card and I do damage. So going back to the Psychube, the Inquisitive Deer is good. Another good one is Second Life. Second Life is basically gonna make I3 but earlier. It's gonna give it to you earlier. Basically, this is after the carrier casts the mass ultimate, HP for all allies plus 32% of your attack. It goes up until 64, which is really good. HP plus the carrier's attack times 32 for all allies. So you do the ultimate, you trigger the cures if you have it, and the poison, and you heal if you have this. Otherwise, you can opt for a 5-star equivalent, which is laughter and laughter. It's not an equivalent for that, but it's an equivalent for healing in general. Laughter and laughter that increases your healing when a round begins. So you heal more and stacks up to 4 times. So you're gonna end up at level 1. You're gonna end up with 12% more healing, which stacks even higher if you have I2. And I2 is relatively easy to get. I3 is more of an end game situation. That's why she's A end game. And I will explain why A in end game in just a second. So you get that one. You can get a laughter and laughter, or if you don't have it, you need some more defense. You can use decode or a free heart. Decode is damage against ults. Damage taken against ults. So if they do an ultimate to you, damage taken minus 10%, or a free heart if you have below 50% HP, you take them 10% less damage, right? So those are like some options, because the 5-star Psychubes are really easy to get. You just have to play the game. You will eventually amass enough currency to buy them. So buy them all. You can buy them all. You can even buy, with the moment you can buy almost 2 of those, you will have enough currency to even buy a 6-star Psychube. So if you picked a DPS Psychube on your free selector that you will have, I think, at login 5, at the 5th day of login, you will be able to, it might be different because that was for China server, it might be different on global. Eventually you'll get a box when you can choose one of those. Besides the upcoming ones, the one that are not said, that is not saying upcoming. So Blasphemer, Brave New World, Second Life, Burden Duty, Opscotch, Inquisitive Deer, and Thunderous Applause. You can use one of those. You can choose one of those and use it. So in theory, you want to pick the DPS, your main carry first, the one for your main carry first, and then you can buy something else. And you will be able to buy them all eventually just by farming the Psychube stage, because it gives you 2 stages for free every day. You can just amass currency until you can buy it. So by the time you can buy 2 5-star, you will be able to buy 1 6-star. So if you didn't get Inquisitive Deer, you can get it at that point. Same with her Second Life if you need some healing. By the way, her Second Life can go on non-healers as well. So you can get some extra HP healing on early game or wherever you want, because it's really good. It's just heal, right? So having scaling with attack, her Second Life, it's better the higher your attack. So if you put it on a support DPS instead of a healer, it's going to heal a little bit more. That said, let's touch about the teams a little bit. First of all, Sotheby has a special team that goes with her, that she needs to be in, to be the big efficient team that does a ton of damage and heals and stuff like that, which is the Poison team with Changeling. Changeling is a unit coming in 1.2 on phase 2, I believe. Tooth Fairy is coming first. Now, there is a whole thing about Tooth Fairy for the Poison team. We will talk about that in another video, or how to build the Poison team, what's the Poison team about, and stuff like that. But the classic Poison team, the classic approach would be Sotheby as a healer, Beacon Bloom as a support / DPS, or any other support DPS. It doesn't really matter. You can even put Baby Blue. You can put Voyager. Everyone that Annan Lee, everyone you want. That it's that fulfills that role and gives like buffs, incantation. You put Sonetto in it. It doesn't really matter. Now, on Changeling as a DPS, she does poison, right? And the more poison you have, the more poison, the more damage she does. Like if they're afflicted by poison, she does more damage, stuff like that, right? So, but alone, herself alone, cannot put a 100% uptime on the poison on the monsters, just Changeling. So you need to put Sotheby with her as well. So Sotheby also applies poison, and you can, in that way, apply more stacks of poison and get to the actual 3-stack cap constantly. So that way, everybody is getting the maximum amount of poison, right? So that this team is the best team for Sotheby. But besides that, you can use Sotheby wherever you want, and you can, the fact that she applies poison, which is a negative status, helps for a lot of characters that perform better when the enemy is afflicted by a negative status. If you're asking about which one, some of the example would be Eagle, would be Changeling, would be Sweetheart. So though most of even Beacon Bloom. So some of these characters perform even better. I will show you, perform even better if they are if the enemy that they're attacking is negative, is under the negative status, control, or stats down, which is probably usually really easy to do. But that way means that you can do more damage with the other units, because thanks to the poison, not every healer applies a negative status. So it's really nice to have Sotheby do that. I mean, she's a 6-star. She should have done. She could have done something, right? She had to do something. And for example, Balloon Party, which is really good healer for a 5-star, she doesn't apply a debuff. She just gives counter and stuff like that. So Sotheby is really good when it comes to enabling also other units on top of healing. So pretty much, I think that's it. But let's say it's like some teams. You can refer to the basics on team building to do this, because you can put Sotheby whenever you want, because she's just a healer that applies poison, so you don't need any specific requirements to be able to use her, right? It's the opposite, actually. Changeling needs Sotheby to be on her perfect scenario. Otherwise, the other teams, you can put whatever DPS you want. You can put Centurion, you can put Black Dwarf whenever she comes, you can put Lilia, you can put Melania, you can every DPS, and then chuck a support, and then put Sotheby as a healer, right? It doesn't really matter which team. Whatever team you like that you want to do, you can put Sotheby in if you don't have any healer. And since she's the first healer coming, it's really good because you can get her immediately. And also in her banner, there also are really good units that you can pick up, which are Charlie and X. Now, X might not be your ideal option, but X has a lot of good things, such as counter, dispel of stat up post status, and then it reduces moxie to all enemies, which is really good. But I'm not gonna talk on him too much because this is the Sotheby guide. But talking about the banner a little bit, I feel like it makes sense, right? So the other unit is Charlie, which is a really strong and powerful unit, especially if you pulling on Sotheby banner, you will, if you're lucky enough, or if you pull enough times, you will be able to get her portrait 3, which basically makes her kit and her total damage deal enough damage to be even stronger, a little bit, not too much, a little bit stronger than P0 Lilia, just for the modifiers alone. So it's a really good unit, right? Also, if you buffer, so you can do Charlie, Sonetto, or whoever buffs, and Sotheby, for example. You don't have to be plant. You don't have to follow the plant, because the enemies in the normal stages are not gonna be just stars, so you can counter them. They're gonna be of different levels, different types, different flatters. So she's mental, so it's maybe not that ideal to run her with Sotheby, but Sotheby is reality, right? So might not be ideal, but that said, it depends on the monster, because if there's many monsters that have, like, this one has a low mental defense, you can attack with the Charlie, right? So it shouldn't be that much of a problem. But overall, at least early game, it's not gonna matter, and you're gonna enjoy the game, and Sotheby is gonna be she's gonna do just fine, even though in theory she's C. But that's just it's just a point of starting of the character, just a mini understanding on what you're dealing with. because compared to other healer that are broken, like Tooth Fairy, she has a progression, while all the healers just start with that and they don't improve. They don't improve. They just stay like that. So Sotheby, good choice. She's gonna do amazing and even better on the Changeling Poison team. Psychubes are those, we saw them, especially her Psycube, the Inquisitive Deer. You can also get the other healing one. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, leave a like or subscribe for more guides and stuff like that. We're gonna do a lot of guides now that the game is out. We're gonna talk about all the big characters coming. Every time there is a patch coming with the characters, we're gonna talk about them. We're gonna talk about the teams, different team building and stuff like that. So I'm also gonna stream on Twitch almost every day for 2-3 hours a day, just to hang out with you guys. So if you want to chill with me and like play the game, we can play the game together and talk about it. I'm gonna play other games as well, but mainly for now, since the game has been is just came out, I will just play Reverse 1999, to be honest. And yeah, if you want to follow that, I would be appreciated. If not, it's fine. It's just telling you, right? So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe for more guides and videos about Reverse 1999, and see you guys next time.